section today. So today we're going to discuss about a very, very important subject matter, the 6 loving exchanges. That is, this is the 4th verse of the Nectar of Instruction. So in the previous verses, we have learned about the importance of association. Yeah. Janasangascha laulyamcha. Yeah. What kind of association should be avoided in order to advance in bhakti. So we have learned this, the dynamics of association. So in this verse, this verse is specifically dedicated to the 6 loving exchanges. That is, how one should associate with the devotees. So this is a very, very important verse, because through this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami gives an external practice of bhakti. Yeah. So bhakti as such is thought of an internal cultivation of the heart, but it's not merely restricted to that. So bhakti is also an outward expression. Yeah. So this outward expression of one's devotion through the means of exchanging different aspects of devotees, it's like the very heart of devotion. So what is this verse? We will just recite and see the translation and try to understand how it can be practically carried out in our life. So I think I need to be allowed to screen share. Yeah, I think I am. Yeah. So this is the verse for the day. Datati pratigrihnati guhyamakhyati prichhati bhute bhojayate chaiva shadvidham priti lakshanam. Translation. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasada, and offering prasada are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. So this is the process of bhakti. Yeah. It is said that if we think that we can cultivate devotion by our own strength in the devoid of association of devotees, then we are practically insane. It is impossible. So there are these 6 loving exchanges with devotees are a way in which, through which Krishna is realized more and more. So Krishna is not realized by some kind of a revelation he once gives a devotee in his heart. No, Krishna is realized in the association of devotees. Yeah. And one should learn the art of associating with devotees. Yeah, and in that very art lies the very perfection. So very beautifully written in Vaishnava Seva. Yeah, Vaishnava Seva, that is service to Vaishnava. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually says that Vaishnava Seva is actually the Yuga Dharma. It's not even the holy name. Vaishnava, it is Vaishnava Seva, service to devotees, which is the very heart of this Yuga Dharma. Yeah. Why? Because unless we serve the devotees, unless we serve Vaishnavas, we will never experience a taste in our chanting. Chanting becomes a very external activity. Yeah. So that is why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings Vaishnava Seva Parama Siddhi Prema Latikara Mula. Yeah. Service to Vaishnava is Parama Siddhi. That means it's the highest Siddhi. Yeah, achievement. And Prema Latikara Mula, that is for the Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotion, this Vaishnava Seva is like the root. So one should definitely understand and know how to associate with devotees. So these are the practical ways of love, and these are called the Priti Lakshana. Yeah, one should associate with devotees with affection, Priti. Very important. Yeah, the art of associating with devotees is very, very important, because in those exchanges itself, one can experience Krishna. Yeah. Krishna never gives a direct access to himself. He always makes himself accessible through his devotees. Yes. And so it is very important for us to understand how to make that connection with the devotees. Yeah. Why devotion? I will tell you practically, even in today's modern day world. I mean, giving a very materialistic example. If you have to do well at your job, it's not about how much you know or how expert you are. It's about what are the relationships you're maintaining with your boss or with your colleagues or with others. That's what actually qualifies you for a graduate, a promotion, more than your skill set, right? So is bhakti. Bhakti is a very personal process. And this process, one should know the art of it. When Prabhupada in one lecture says, one should know the art of looting mercy from Krishna. Krishna is Daya Sindhu. He's Karuna Sindhu. He's an ocean of mercy. He's Prema Sindhu. He's an ocean of love. But how to tap into that infinity, that's the key. So that's a secret. So here is Srila Rupa Goswami, who is giving us a very beautiful insight into what are the 6 powerful and potent ways of associating with devotees. What are they? Dadati. Dadati means to give. Pratigrinati means to take. Yeah. Guhyam akhyati prichati. What is guhyam? Guhyam means confidential matters. Akhyati. Akhyati means to express or to explain, and prichati means to inquire. Yeah. And bhunte bhojayate, that means bhunte means to feed. I mean to eat. Bhunte means to eat, that is to honor prasadam, and bhojayate means to feed. Yeah. So by following these 6 exchanges, these 6 exchanges are called the Priti Lakshana. These are the 6 ways of, or 6 symptoms of love. Yeah, what are they? The Dati, that is to give what? Gifts in charity. Pratigrinati means to take. Even accepting gifts is also important, not just giving. Guhyam akhyati prachati means the confidential matters should be akhyati, should be expressed, and prichati should be inquired. And prasadam should be served, and prasadam should be honored. So when these 6 exchanges are taking place, then our relationship with Vaishnavas are very, very substantial. Yeah. It is said that in a community where the devotees practice these 6 exchanges, such a community flourishes like anything. And I will give you a very nice story from the Alvars, which explains how powerful is Vaishnava Seva. So once in the Chola dynasty, as we all know, there are 12 Alvars. So today I will tell you the story of Thirumangai. So Thirumangai is the 12th Alvar. So his life is actually an example of the greatness of Vaishnava Seva. So who is Thirumangai? Thirumangai is the only son of the Chola king and queen. And he was born on the day of the Kartika Purnima. And he was named Thirumangai. And he was well trained as a king, and he was ruling a small dynasty. When he grew up, his marriage was fixed with a very, very, very beautiful girl with whom he instantly fell in love. Her name was Kumudavalli. Yeah, Kumudavalli. So Kumudavalli was so beautiful, she was so enchanting that he instantly gave his heart away to her. So this Kumudavalli is actually a great devotee of the Lord. So when he proposed marriage to her, Kumudavalli said, I will definitely marry you, but I have one condition. He said, yes, tell me what is the condition. She said, every day you have to serve Vaishnavas. Only then I will be able to marry. He said, okay, definitely. My life, in all my life, my heart and my soul, I will serve the Vaishnavas. And he marries her and he begins Vaishnava Seva. Every day feeding thousands of Vaishnavas prasadam in a very, very opulent way. Yeah, on a daily basis, he was feeding the Vaishnavas. It's almost about 1,008 or over, some figure is given. So day after day, most opulent prasadam was served to Vaishnavas, not just on festivals, every single day. In that way, all his treasury started getting exhausted. All his ministers stopped him, but he could not stop. On a daily basis, every day, until all his treasury started, hitting rock bottom. And eventually, he exhausted his entire treasury in the service of Vaishnavas. And not just his entire treasury, he even had to sell out his kingdom, his opulences, his everything. He just became a pauper. And he had nothing left with him. But still, he didn't give up his vow. So, in order to further fulfill his vow, he became a thief. He started becoming a looter in the pathway of jungles. He used to stop travelers, loot money from them, and he used to simply utilize that and continue feeding the Vaishnavas. So when he was doing this, Lord Vishnu himself got alerted. Arey, what is this? I understand serving devotees, but this is too much. You're actually stealing to serve Vaishnavas. But for the enormous, for the kind of dedication that he showed for Vaishnava Seva, I mean, if the matter has reached Lord Vishnu, that means it's not ordinary, right? So, for the enormous dedication he had for the cause of Vaishnava Seva, that really moved Vishnu. So, Lord Vishnu and Mother God and Lakshmi, both of them, they also wanted to test his resolve, how much resolve he had for Vaishnava Seva. So they came in disguise. So on that day, again, he and his army, few men, who are his assistant robbers. So they were standing on the way of the jungle to look to, waiting for some people who are to pass by, who have something with them, so that they could loot them and, feed the Vaishnavas that day. So Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi, they both were coming, and they saw that both of them, so opulently dressed, they had a lot of gold over them and everything. So, seeing them from a distance, got alerted. Tirumangai got alerted. And he said, yes, see, here's a couple coming and they're wearing a lot of riches. If we just loot these two people, we have sufficient amount to feed our Vaishnavas for a long time. So thinking that way, they just wait for these two people to come. So as soon as they come, they actually attack and they start taking away all their gold and all their jewelry and putting them in the bags, literally stuffing these bags with all this gold. We get so much. And I've actually seen this. This was enacted as a drama when I was in Bombay. Very beautifully enacted. So he becomes more and more greedy that, he owns so much wealth, and it was so fascinating. Then he sees that, this goddess Lakshmi, who was in disguise of the woman, she had a toe ring. Her toes had a ring. So, he thought, now why should I leave this? I should take this also. And, he actually goes and touches her lotus feet. And, when toe ring was not coming, he actually, goes close to that toes to actually remove it with his teeth. But when he actually touches the lotus feet of goddess Lakshmi, he falls in ecstasy. He experiences divinity. immediately he collapses and he faints. He feels, his heart is like gushed with devotion, devotional ecstasy upon touching the lotus feet of Goddess Lakshmi. So at that time, he slowly comes back to his consciousness. And when he was coming back to his consciousness, Lord Vishnu goes to his ears and he chants the mantra, Dwadasakshara mantra. What we are chanting is the 16-syllable mantra. So Lord Vishnu gives him a mantra which is 12 syllables. So when he utters the mantra and when he leaves, then he gets initiated into the path of pure devotion. Can you imagine the mantra given? Actually, Guru gives the mantra, right, to a disciple. That is what is initiation, Nama Diksha. Harinama Diksha is given by the Guru to the disciple. But here is Tirumangai Alvar. To him, the mantra has been given by the Supreme Lord himself, being pleased with his commitment for Vaishnava Seva. Yeah. So this is the glory of Vaishnava Seva. It is said that if you love Krishna, devotees love you. If you love devotees, Krishna will love you. So that's the whole dynamics. Somebody who serves devotees, they are, Krishna actually literally worships them. He says that, those who say that my devotees are not my devotees. Those who are devotees of my devotees are actually my devotees. This is the way to reach the heart of Krishna. What is the way? The way is by learning how to associate with his devotees. And when there is good camaraderie, good relationships, good association between devotees, Krishna will be so pleased that he himself comes and asks what blessings you want. Like the Prachetas have done massive tapasya underwater for a long time. Yeah, the Prachetas are their brothers. Yeah. And when the Lord was pleased and he comes and says, I'm so pleased with the loving relationships that you all have. So please ask me what you want and I will give you whatever you wish. So whenever these bonds between devotees are strong, when they are flourishing, there Krishna manifests himself very quickly, very fast. That is why it is said, collective unity is more important than individual unity. I repeat, collective unity is more important than individual purity. So this is the beauty of association. And in our life, through all our, best of past sukritis, best of our good fortune coming together, and best of Krishna's blessing coming to us, is, it takes the form of the beautiful service to Vaishnava Seva. The greatest gift that Krishna can give to a devotee is Vaishnava Seva. Yeah, service to Vaishnavas, service to devotees, which is a very root of flourishing devotional kripa. If at any point of time you feel dry in devotion, or you feel that you're not going ahead in life, just try to exchange these 4-6 ways of loving exchanges with devotees and see how beautifully your bhakti becomes a very juicy process. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada writes that the very purpose of establishing ISKCON is to facilitate these 6 loving exchanges amongst devotees. Because, that is the platform. ISKCON is a platform. I will take you to the exact words that are written by Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Yeah. So the International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate the 6 kind of loving exchanges between devotees. So this society was started single-handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. So this is at the very core of the whole philosophy of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, which is established by Srila Prabhupada, is simply based on this. It is amazing to know some stories of Prabhupada, actually. The devotees, when they recall with such love the kind of food, prasadam that was prepared by Prabhupada for them. In the initial days when Prabhupada was alone in the West, in the New York City, where he had no help, many a time single-handedly Prabhupada himself cooked 9 to 10 varieties of different foods, and he used to serve all the guests, and not just serving them. They're all what kind of people? They're all hippies. Not just serving them, after they left, he even washed their plates. Just imagine. I mean, we struggle sometimes hard to wash the plates of our own family members. Where is Prabhupada? What was his stature? He was a pure devotee of the Lord. And who cooked the food for? For hippies. That is like, total drug addicts. And after they left, Prabhupada with his own hands, he washed all the plates. After cooking such a grand feast. So, it is really very, very amazing, actually, if you read the book of Srila Prabhupada's Leela. So many places, his kind of food, I mean, the kind of preparations that he made, people used to be amazed that, how did Prabhupada know? So once somebody asked this to Prabhupada, how do you know so many varieties of dishes? Yeah. No. Prabhupada said, I have learned it from my mother. Yeah. So many varieties Prabhupada used to make. Once one lady, she was at a store. She said, oh, you're from India. I said, India is very, very famous for samosas. I love the samosas of India. She just said that casually. So after a couple of days, actually Prabhupada again went back to the store with a big tray of samosas, which he personally made. He personally himself cooked. Yeah, and he gave. So this, we can actually recognize this in our own self. Like we may buy so many things to our friends or relatives. But when we prepare with our own hands and give, especially if it's tasty, it makes a lot of difference. Yeah, in what we have given. Even if it's little, it's really enjoyed and relished so much. What we prepare with our own hands. So that is this is what is Bhunte Bhoje Vecha. Is giving and accepting food, especially food that is offered to the Lord. Yeah, that is a way of exchange of love. I mean, even if you within your own family members, when you actually cook for them and you feed them, the kind of energy that is exchanged is very different. It's at a different level. You cannot compare it to something like, taking them out on a dinner to a hotel and just feeding them something. And you yourself cook something and feed them with love. There's a lot of difference in that, right? So that is why this is a Preeti Lakshan. It's an exchange of love. Similarly, if somebody calls you for prasadam, when you go and open your heart and discuss, these are not normal dynamics. This exchange of heart between devotees is such an auspicious process. In the 10th chapter of Gita, Lord Krishna speaks about Bodhayanta Paraspara. Yeah. Madchitta Madgata Prana. Bodhayanta Parasparam. Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So what do devotees do? Madchitta Madgata Prana. Their minds are always absorbed in me. And Bodhayanta Paraspara. In that way, with minds absorbed in me, they enlighten each other. Bodhayanta Paraspara means they enlighten each other. How? Kathayantascha mam nityam. They always discuss about my topics. Yeah. Tushyanticha ramanticha. By doing that, what happens? They are, elated. They derive a lot of satisfaction. Ramanticha. They enjoy the pleasure. So to actually get to this level of, enjoying speaking about Krishna Katha with the other devotees, it requires that kind of a bonding. You can't simply call up any of your friend and say, hey, you know what, this is a beautiful pastime of Krishna that I've learned today. You think the other person will be interested to hear, especially everybody is more interested to speak. Yeah. So to get to the platform of actually exchanging and sharing Krishna Katha, one should actually develop this Preeti Lakshana. What is this Preeti Lakshana? As I said, starting with Dadati Pratigana. It starts with giving of gifts in charity. That is, it need not be something very expensive, but always, giving is an expression of one's affection. Srila Prabhupada used to always say, like when Prabhupada has started the movement of Krishna consciousness in the West, every day there used to be one devotee who used to attend the session, and whenever he used to come, he used to bring a fruit with him. Okay, so like there are so many devotees who are coming, just used to hear and take prasadam and leave. But there was one devotee, whenever he used to come, he used to bring a fruit. Something he used to bring, either a fruit or something to eat or some dry fruit, something or the other he used to bring. So Prabhupada, after many days looking at this, he appreciated that devotee so much. He said, this is the etiquette you show to a guru, to a spiritual master, or to the deities. Even whenever you go to the deities, you should never go empty-handed. Whenever you go to the deities or your guru, one should never go empty-handed. One should always offer something. Yeah, dadati, giving, very important part of the exchange. Pratigrinati, also accepting gifts. Yeah, accepting gifts also is important. It's not just all about giving, also accepting. When you accept, you're expressing your acceptance of the bond of the other person. That is also very important. So Dadati, Prabhupada also writes in the purport about another, a broader definition of Dadati. So Dadati means to give something in charity. So there are so many things that we give. We give gifts in terms of, they may be spiritual gifts or normal gifts. Or we may give anything, but the greatest gift one can give in charity is the holy name. Yeah. Especially, that is why it is so, the Nagar Sankirtana is so auspicious, because without expecting anything, you're just investing your time, your energy, your heart into simply giving the holy name to the public without expecting anything in return. So that is why it is such a glorious activity. Harinam Sankirtan. Nagar Sankirtan will say. So whenever it happens around your places, please be a part of it and see what kind of happiness it gives us. We're so tuned to always doing something, expecting in return something. That's how our job works, or that's how we prepare for exams so that we get marks. Yeah, we do our job so that we get our pay at the end of the month. Yeah, so we always do something anticipating something. So our heart gets hardwired with this kind of a expectation, and it derives no true satisfaction. But when you do something without expecting anything in return, especially when you do something by giving the highest and expecting nothing, it gives such pleasure, it gives such joy to the soul. And what is the greatest charity you can give? The holy name. Yeah. So it can be either through the process of preaching, or even if you're unable to preach, whenever there is Nagar Sankirtan that is going on in any center close to where you're staying, just go and be a part of it and just chant the holy names as you're walking. And as you're giving the holy name, all the recipients will benefit so much. The benefit you may not be able to see with your eyes, but how it actually enhances their upward journey in their own life. You cannot measure it. So that is the greatest charity, Dadati, to give the holy name to others. Pratigranati, accepting gifts. Yeah. So when you are making that relationships actively, you should always be humble enough to accept gifts also. Yeah. Sometimes when we give too much and we give a lot, we develop a kind of attitude wherein we feel that, yes, I am the giver. I know, and I don't believe in taking. It's a kind of ego. Sometimes, one of our superiors have told that sometimes it is very important that we go and humbly sit in front of our own God brothers or God sisters who are our equals or even who are junior to us, and humbly sit in front of them and simply hear submissively, even from them, even if they are junior to you. Why? Because that's very pratigranati, receiving is also important. Because one should not develop pride of giving, that I am the giver. It should be balanced out by even receiving. Yeah. So that is pratigranati. And guhyam, confidential matters. Yes, this is very, very important. We all have what is stated in the books are the general principles. Yeah, there are general principles. But the specific applications of those principles, as per everybody's unique situation, can be understood only through guidance. So no person can make any tangible advancement or progress on the path of bhakti without honestly revealing one's hardships, without revealing one's difficulties or obstacles they are facing on the path of bhakti. If a devotee is always putting a show of, yes, everything is going on fine, everything is going on fine, that means something's wrong. they're hiding something. Yeah. So actually, we are all, stuck in a well, right? When we're stuck in a well, when we call out for help, we should call out genuinely, telling at where we are. Like, for example, I would say, I'm in a deep, dark well, and I am at 20 meters, below the ground level. So when I call out for help, I should genuinely say, hey, I'm hanging at 20 feet, 20 meters below the ground level. Then we get the rope up till here. But if you just say, yeah, I'm in the well, but I'm not really so at such a lowly position. I'm just about 5 meters below the ground level. If I say that I'll get rope only till 5 meters. Yeah. Then they'll send the rope. Okay, you're just at 5 meters. Fine, I'm sending you a rope which is 5 meters. But when actually you are 20 meters down the ground level, you don't get help. So one should find such a person in one's life where you can be totally yourself with no emotional filters, with no walls of, self-defense. You're just truly yourself. That means, yes, I have these difficulties. I have these obstacles. And I'm very plain, transparent about it. These are my struggles. There should be at least one person in our lives to whom we can actually be ourselves with no filters. Yeah, only then, that kind of help can be given and those obstacles can be cleared. So this is a very guhyam akhyati. Akhyati means that is explaining in confidence, revealing in confidence one's heart. So this does not mean that, randomly you find a person and you go and tell all of our difficulties to such a person. So guhyam akhyati, that means, of course, this is what we think is exchanging love. That means I go and I explain my heart as it is to the other person. The other person should also be qualified. Sometimes we hear this complaints from some people, I have went and I've gone and revealed my heart to this person, And this person actually breached my trust and went around sharing whatever I have shared with others. Yeah, that's tragic. That means you have actually chosen the wrong person, or you have not even sufficiently invested in the relationship before you actually opened your heart. Isn't that really important, that we should know the person thoroughly, we open the heart? Yes, it is. And these are the dynamics of relationships. We should give the relationship the natural time to grow and to blossom forth and to maintain that bond, to develop mutual faith, and then reveal one's heart and confidence. Then you can expect to get guidance in return. It's a very powerful and important exchange, to be oneself truly. You see in the history of Mahabharata, when the Pandavas and Draupadi, they were sent on an exile. Draupadi has been through such a very a great turmoil. Yeah, she's been through such the highest of emotional upheavals. When she was disrobed in the assembly, but during that time she never spoke her heart. She never expressed her anguish. She was silent. She was taking it. She was only fighting for dharma. She was only asking Bhishma Dev, Vidura, and everybody, what is dharma? She was only asking that question, but she never expressed her heart. And after that, they leave Hastinapur and they come into the forest. And when they enter the forest, Lord Krishna and all the heroes of the Panchala Desh, Draupadi's own brother Drishtadyumna, all of them, they come to visit the Pandavas who are in Kamyam. So at that time, Draupadi, for the first time, she starts weeping, she starts sobbing. And when she approaches Krishna, she just lashes out her pain. Says, fee upon the Gandiva of Arjuna, which didn't save me at the time of my need. Fee upon the strength of Bhima, which didn't save me when I'm in need. What is the use of all these Pandavas being so strong when I'm the Pandava Patni? Didn't I deserve to be saved because I'm the Patni of the Pandavas? Because I am Ajja, that is, I'm sorry, my birth is pure, I'm born from fire. My birth is not ordinary. And I am also related to you, O Vasudev Krishna. For all these reasons, don't I deserve to be saved when I was in need? She just pours out her heart, lashes out. And Krishna accepts all that as a good friend. Though he was a supreme personality of Godhead Krishna himself, he just takes in all the pain of Draupadi just as a good friend. It's a very beautiful exchange in the whole episode of Mahabharata, this particular scene in the Kamya Kavan. This is, the beauty of sharing one's heart, revealing one's heart in confidence. And we all need that one special person, at least in our life, with whom we can totally be ourselves with. If we don't have such a person, that means we are really missing something, a very important relationship in our life. This is Guhyam Adhyat Pritchati. Yeah, Pritchati. Pritchati means inquiring. So somebody with whom we can express our heart, and somebody from whom we can inquire any damn question that arises in our heart. As a practitioner, somebody who's interested on the path of spirituality, they have thousands of questions, especially if you're practicing sincerely. So we need that devotee or somebody, a person who actually can answer our inquiries. And how do we inquire? We should not simply go around and become just a interrogator. Go and ask this question. Did you have this question? I have this question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, before questioning, render some seva. This is what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. First, what you do? You do pranipat. You offer proper respects to the teacher. Then, do pariprashna. Then you start inquiring. So that bonding is important. So these are the dynamics of relationships. Proper bonding is important. And those who know the art of relationships are the happiest people in this world, most fulfilled people. So at the end of our life, it is not the amount of riches we have gathered, the number of positions we have acquired. No. What actually counts. So what actually counts is how many blessings of Vaishnavas have we received? How many hearts of Vaishnavas have we won? This is actually what counts at the end of our life. The number of hearts I have touched, that is my real take home at the end of life. Yeah. And this touching of heart is not something that is because of out of our talents or out of our great skills or anything. They can be medium. Just like somebody who knows how to only sing well, can sing so nicely, and please the heart of the Lord and please the heart of so many devotees around there. And he can take everybody along with him to very high realms through the talent of singing. Only if he's in the right mode. Yeah. So one should be aware, what is it that counts at the end of life? It's not the number of dollars we have made or the positions we have acquired, but it is the number of hearts we have touched. And to touch the hearts, one should be expert in relationships and how to appropriately. And this is not a matter of personality. As some people are born with that personality, they're very excellent with relationships, but it can also be cultivated in this, 6 beautiful ways, six exchanges, 6 Preeti Lakshana, by giving and accepting gifts. Then Guhyamakhyadikaj, by revealing one's mind in confidence and by also inquiring about how to progress in one. This is like exclusively for devotee. And third is Bhukte Bhojan, food, prasadam, by giving, by feeding prasadam and honoring prasadam. Very powerful. As I told you, please just try this out. Try this out in your own life. What is the difference between taking, feeding people that is food that is cooked by somebody else and feeding somebody food cooked with your own hands, especially done with love? What kind of difference it makes? You can just take this as the homework for this week. With your own hands, make a nice meal. Make a full meal, full platter. Starting with appetizer and some nice rice item with some nice fried dal and roti, sabji and some fried, and especially don't forget the dessert. Make this one platter with your own hands and call your friend and then feed them and see the happiness. And you can understand then what actually the kind of energy that flows out of such an exchange. It's remarkable, really remarkable. Okay, so these are the 6 symptoms of love, and when they are performed with, carefully and with caution, it has the potency to awaken our dormant love for Krishna. This is what Prabhupada writes. Yeah. So, yeah, but one word of caution here with all this, the word of caution is these 6 exchanges, which are so very powerful, they should be done with the right people. Yeah. If they're done with the wrong people, the same 6 exchanges can get you entangled into unhealthy relationships. Yeah, sometimes we go and speak our mind to those people who are not properly well situated or who are themselves, they're skewed, or we, sometimes we experience this, right? We go and express our heart to people, and if they are crooked minded, after expressing our heart, we keep on thinking, what is this person going to do with the information that I have given? Whom is he going to share, or she is going to share, and what is he going to do? We become very insecure. Yeah, so we have to be very careful with whom we are sharing our heart in confidence. Yeah, so this is all about this verse. Yeah. So in this verse, there is brief mention of the process of making loving transaction with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with His devotees. So in the next verses, we're going to discuss about what kind of devotees should be selected as a friend and how Vaishnavas should be served. Yeah, that is going to be our next verse. So in this verse, we have learned about the dynamics. And next verse, we're going to learn about how, depending upon the advancement of the devotee, where that other devotee is situated. If he's a neophyte, what kind of an exchange should be done with such a person? If a person is Dikshita, that means an initiated devotee, how we should exhibit these loving exchanges. And if that person is a Mahabhagavata, pure devotee, how we have to do, interact. So these details are given very nicely in the next verse, that is text 5. So we will meet again in the next session discussing about the text 5 of the Nectar of Instruction. Thank you all very much. I will end here. Quickly, I can take one question. Haribol, thank you, Kavya. Thank you all for attending the session. Yes, anybody? Yeah, okay, so Riddhi asked a very nice question. How do we find that person? Okay. So dynamics of association are such that, I will tell you this, I think I have stated this before too, but this is a very nice statistic, okay, proportion. Okay? It is said that one should respect all, okay? Everybody is deserving of respect. Unconditionally, respect should be given to all, okay? Respect all. Make friends with few, okay? Make friends with few. And make deep friendships with very few. Yeah, some close inner circle with whom, yeah, you might be doing these 6 loving exchanges. They come under this third category. Yeah. And reveal your heart to only one. Okay, so this is technically how one should place one's attitudes towards others. Yeah, respect all, make friends with few, make close friendships with very few, and reveal your heart in confidence to only one. So if your question is, how do you find that one person with whom I reveal the heart? So that is a bonding that is blessed by the Supreme Lord. When we are sincere, we feel that connect, and the connect comes from, it is mutual. Yeah, so it's a mentor-mentee relationship, which can exist to help us grow in our own lives. So with whom we can uninhibitedly express our shortcomings, our weaknesses, our struggles, and we can seek that kind of help to grow. It is said, there should be 2 qualifications. Yeah, so one straight answer to your question. How do we find that person? That person should have 2 qualifications. Number 1, that person should be your genuine well-wisher. And number 2, that person should have the ability to guide. Only if the person is well-wisher and has no ability to guide, then it makes no sense. They might be wishing well for you, but when you actually open up your heart, they might not be actually providing a solution. On the other hand, the other person may be really capable, very elevated, very exalted, and has all the answers to your questions. But the person is not your well-wisher, means you don't have that bond. Then probably, technically the answers may be right, but how it will be applied in your life for your true benefit, that kind of a result will not come. So these are the 2 qualifications. Person should be a genuine well-wisher, and second is the person should have the ability to guide. And so these are the qualifications. Just like the guru looks for the qualifications of the disciple also should find or should search with a non-judgmental attitude for the qualification of the person whom one takes shelter. It's not a sentimental attraction, but it's a It's a thing of the head and the heart. Yeah. I hope I could satisfactorily answer your question. Okay, Hare Krishna. We will end here. Hare Om.